The Jodi Arias sentencing retrial. The jury wrapping up day 5 of deliberations in just the past hour, and we have team coverage of the verdict watch for you tonight, including how much this is going to cost all of us. We begin with ABC 15's Mary Ellen Resendez, and Mary Ellen, many down there expected a verdict this afternoon after the Alexander family walked into the courtroom.
Everyone was certainly wondering what was going on, especially when victim Travis Alexander's family, a civil attorney, along with the prosecution and the defense attorneys, all walked into the courtroom. They were behind closed doors for just about an hour. Now, no one knows exactly what took place behind those courtroom doors, but our legal analyst, Hector Diaz, says that he has once represented a family in regards to being a civil attorney, and he said it could be something as simple as the Alexander family wanting to know where deliberations stand and what can the court share with them. Now, Arizona has a much broader view of victims' rights that would actually allow them certain information. Meanwhile, several former jurors are keeping very close to the courtroom, remembering exactly what it was like to have to make that very heavy decision, life or death.
It was very, very frustrating, and I didn't know the verdicts going into the jury box of the hung jury. And so when the judge read the verdict, I literally started crying because you're emotionally invested, and I wasn't there to help make the decision. And so to hear that they couldn't make that decision, it was very heartbreaking.
Now, Tara Kelly was actually an alternate juror. She sat on the 2013 murder trial, so she didn't actually get to go into deliberations, but they kept her at the courtroom in case she did. She now lives out of state, but arrived earlier this week because she says she wants to see this through. Now, tomorrow will mark day 6 of deliberations, and we'll have to see whether or not the jury has a verdict.
Well, we're thinking of those jurors. Such a heavy responsibility. Thank you, Mary Ellen.
And while we wait to find out if Jodi Arias will spend the rest of her life behind bars or get the death penalty, we wanted to dig a little deeper into how much it's going to cost you. ABC 15's Elizabeth Irwin taking action now. She's been crunching the numbers for us. And Elizabeth, what'd you find?
A lot of it depends on how much time Arias would end up spending in court. If she is given the death penalty, that's a much more broad appeals process, which means more money in the long run. Now, I checked with the Arizona Department of Corrections to find out the costs here. I'm told it costs $82.80 per day to house a death row inmate. Typically takes between 20 to 23 years for an execution warrant to be issued, which means it would cost taxpayers about $640,000. If Arias is sentenced to life in prison, she would be in maximum custody for the first 2 years, what's called close custody for at least 3 years after that, and then she could earn her way to medium custody. So if Arias was released after 25 years, it would cost taxpayers about $565,000 and then $20 grand a year after that. Now, again, this does not take into account legal fees. These are just estimates, so any appeals costs, court costs, attorney costs are not included in this estimate. Keep in mind, so far this case has already cost taxpayers about $3 million.
Yeah, and the bills are still adding up. We still haven't seen the final cost on all of it. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. Cameras have not been allowed in the courtroom during this retrial, but the judge is allowing us to live stream the verdict both online and right here on ABC 15. So count on us for the very latest and most comprehensive coverage the moment a decision is reached. And remember, you can get up-to-the-minute updates by downloading the ABC 15 mobile app. It's free. It gives you access to breaking news and all the top stories of the day.